In this video, we'll be hunting a box of nickels. We'll be looking for anything older than 1960, including silver war nickels, buffalo nickels, or anything older. We'll also be looking for any proofs, foreigns, errors of varieties, or any other interesting things that we can find. Do this one box right now, but if it doesn't produce enough finds, I will add a second box onto this video like I usually do for nickels. And I have checked this box for enders, don't see any obvious enders, but we'll hopefully get some good finds from inside the rolls. So, let's start the hunt on the first nickel box of this hunt, and I'll bring you in when we have our first find. Second roll, we have the first find of the hunt, and it is a nickel from the 40s, 1941, minted in Philly. Roll 5, and we have a couple of older Jeffersons this time. First, we have another 1941, and it's another 41 Philly, and our first 50s find in 1957 from Denver. Just opened roll 11, and I see the edge of the first foreign of the box. Probably just going to be a Canadian nickel. See it right here. And that's what it is, and it is 1997. Same roll, also had a couple of nickels from the 50s. This time we have a 1955 from Denver, and a 1959 that's also from Denver. Next roll, we have another find from the 40s, and just like the other 40s nickels we've got, it's yet another 1941 out of Philly. Roll 18, we have another find from the 40s, and you'll never guess what it is. Another 1941 out of Philly. Next roll, we have another find from the 40s and one from the 50s this time. Finally have something other than a 41 Philly, a 1948 out of Denver this time, and a 1958 from Denver as well. Roll 23, we have another pair of 50s nickels. This time we have another 1958 Denver, as well as a 1959 out of Philly. And also when I took that roll out of the box, I noticed this roll behind it, it's slightly shorter than the rest of the rolls. Also has this weird thing in the roll. I don't know what it is. It's probably not even a nickel, something else. Definitely looks really odd, and I will open the roll live just in case it's something interesting. Might not even be a coin, who knows what it is, but we'll open that roll live when we get to it. Anyways, let's get back to the hunt. Next roll, a few coins in. I normally don't record just the singular 50s finds, but just uncovered this, and it's a super nice 1953 nickel. Probably AU to uncirculated condition. Not a ton of value in it, but pretty rare you find older nickels in this nice condition in circulation. And it's a 1953 San Francisco. Not a semi-key or key date, definitely a harder one to find, and there is a few steps on there, so really excellent condition, 1953S. That's definitely an awesome find. We're up to roll 33, which is that roll that I said has something weird going on in it. I don't know if it's just a destroyed coin, a foreign coin, or something else in the roll. Something definitely weird is in this roll, so we're going to open it live and see what it is together. I have gotten a washer in a nickel roll before, maybe it's that. I mean, who knows? Kind of excited to see what it's going to be, because it's definitely something odd and different. Open the roll and see what it is. And this is it right here. It's definitely not a coin. It's just some sort of plastic disc with a hole in the middle. Definitely very odd. Never seen that pulled out of a roll before. Definitely something very odd in the box. Roll 37. The older Jeffersons have been pretty cold these last few rolls. Haven't gotten any in a while. No finds besides that weird plastic disc. That was super weird to find. But I did just open this roll, and I see the edge of the second Canadian of the hunt right here. And this one is a 1985. Roll 39, just open the roll, and once again we're going to have another Canadian nickel, so this is going to make 3 for the hunt now. This one near the back of the roll, and this one is going to be a 1994. Roll 41, still no more older Jeffersons, but we're going to get another Canadian nickel in this roll, which is going to make 4 for the box. Definitely a lot for one box. This one is right here. This time we're going to get a 1996. Roll 44, we're finally going to get our first older Jefferson in quite a while. I think it's been like 15 rolls or something. It's something crazy like that. But it is from the 40s. It's a 1947 out of San Francisco. Roll 46, we're going to have the 5th foreign of the box in this roll, but this time it's not going to be a Canadian. Right there is a coin with a reeded edge, which is very odd. Nickels obviously don't have reeded edges. So that's definitely going to be something else. Not sure what it's going to be. Let's see. And it is from Singapore, 1997, 20 cents. Obviously, it's not going to be silver being from 1997. Not in great shape, but that is definitely unique and cool foreign find. Just opened roll 48, and we're going to have another Canadian nickel in this roll. So that's 6 foreigns for the box. Maybe my record for a nickel box, I'm not sure. 5 Canadians, though. Might be my record for Canadians as well. This Canadian is 1987. First nickel box of the video has been hunted, and I am going to add another box on this video because this box wasn't amazing, but it was an okay box. Did get a find out of that last roll, 1941 out of Denver this time. Add that to stack of 41s. Older Jeffersons, not a ton in this box. Not really any better ones besides, of course. Did get this really nice 1953S. That's the first really nice older Jefferson I've found in a while. Definitely great to see in the box. And also a lot of foreigns in that box for sure. 5 Canadian nickels and also that cool foreign from Singapore, 1997. Pretty cool to find a foreign that's not from Canada in the box for sure. Also, probably the weirdest find in the box was that weird plastic disc that was in one of the rolls. It was kind of like bulging out of the roll, and I could tell there's something weird in there. Ended up being that, which is super, super odd. That never expect to find that kind of thing in a roll, but once in a while it does happen. So, that was an okay first box, but I am going to add a second box onto this video, so I'll be back when I have a second nickel box to add onto the hunt. I am back with a second nickel box to add onto the hunt. Has been a couple weeks because I was getting a couple of uncirculated nickel boxes, but today I traded those nickel boxes for some circulated ones. This one in front of me is one of them. I'm pretty excited for this box because we do have an ender right here. It's hard to see, but it's actually a 1939 nickel, so a 30s nickel ender. That'll be the oldest nickel of the hunt unless there's something older in this box. Super excited for that, and both of these boxes that I got were stamped with the code from April of this year, so a little bit older boxes, not sure what that means. Hopefully it means better finds, we'll have to see. Anyways, let's get into the second nickel box of the hunt, and I'll bring you in when we have our first find. Roll number 6, and I didn't even realize we had an ender in this roll. That 39 ender I mentioned was right there, but in this roll, we had another 1939 ender, so that's 2 1939 enders in the box, which is kind of crazy. Not the best shape, probably just going to be a Philly, and it is. Does not look like it's going to be the DDR, but it is another 1939. We already know we have another ender. Definitely a good sign for the box. Roll 10. We have our first couple older Jeffersons of the box, besides that 1939 ender, of course. And they are 1941 from Philly and a 1957 out of Denver. Roll 15, and I might have just uncovered a great find because I'm hunting through the roll. We have another 1939 here, and this one is in really nice condition. Probably an AU. It's really nice. Hopefully it has a mint mark to be a key date. And we do. A 1939 Denver key date nickel in amazing condition. I believe this is the second rarest Jefferson behind the 50D. If you can get these in like a 64 or 65, they're actually worth quite a bit of money, maybe even worth getting graded. But this is an AU, not mint state, but still. Beautiful key date nickel found. That is an amazing find. Just opened roll 19, which is that second 1939 ender. I just opened the roll, and there it is right there. It's our third 1939 of the box. One of them was the key date, of course. Now have more 39s than other older Jeffersons, which is kind of weird. I'll definitely take it, though. This one is just going to be a 1939 Philly, not the DDR, but it is the third 39 of the box, and especially that key date is an awesome find. Roll 20, we're finally going to get some other older Jeffersons other than 39s. Definitely don't mind all the 39s, though. This time we're going to have another 1941 from Philly, as well as a 1952 out of San Francisco. Roll 30, we have a couple more nickels from the 50s. Not a ton of older Jeffersons in this box, but we did get that beautiful key date, which definitely makes up for it. This time we have a 1954 Denver and 1956 from Philly. Roll 35, we have another find from the 40s and one from the 50s. The 40s is a really damaged 1947 from Philly. The 50s is 1958, minted in Denver. Roll 37 gave us another pair of nickels from the 40s and 50s. They're actually right next to each other in the roll. We have a 1940 out of Denver and 1957 from Denver as well. Roll 41, we have a pair of finds from the 50s, and they're actually both the same. They're both 1954s, both from Denver. Just opened roll 45. We definitely had a lot of foreigns for the first box, but we're yet to get any for box 2, but I just opened this roll. We're going to have 2 Canadians right next to each other right there. What are the odds of that? No Canadians and 2 right next to each other in the roll. And they're going to be 1986 and a 1984. 2 more foreigns for the board. Last roll, we have one more find to show, just from the 50s, and it is 1956 out of Philly. Now, let's go on to the wrap-up. Both nickel boxes have been hunted, so let's go over the finds. We end up with 29 estimates. Foreigns, we end up with 8. 7 of them were just modern Canadians, and 1 of them was 1997 Singapore coin, which is super cool to find another foreign other than a Canadian. 2 2009s, the one on the right, definitely in super rough shape, but good to see a couple of 09s. Also did get this random plastic piece of something in one of the rolls. Very, very odd find there. Don't get trash in rolls very often. That's just really, really weird and odd. For older Jeffersons, we definitely got a good amount. More from box 1 than the second box. Did get a couple of better ones as well. Got this absolutely beautiful 1953S out of box number 1 and out of box number 2, which was the best find of the hunt. Found in pretty much AU 1939 Denver. Key date nickel is a little bit of detail left on the steps, but it's 39 Denver key date, second rarest Jefferson behind the 1950D, and this one's worth the most in high grades out of all Jefferson nickels, so super cool to find that. Not a high grade coin, just an AU, but I mean, for finding in circulation, very, very nice find for sure. No silvers or buffaloes, but that key date definitely makes up for it. This was a super fun 2-box nickel hunt.